Teams. You love them or you love to hate them. So many of us have had to jump headfirst into Teams in the past year. And when we have to learn quickly, we often figure out as much as we can and then move forward. We don't always have the time to figure out the bells and the whistles, the shortcuts and the tricks. And that's why we have our weekly top 10 list. This week, we're going to use our collective wisdom and share our top 10 tips for Microsoft Teams. Now, our first team comes from Lisa Cohen from Chattanooga, Tennessee. Lisa reminds everyone that you don't need to have Teams to be able to use it. You don't have to download anything. If you've been invited to a meeting, you can just put the link in your browser and you can attend the meeting. If you thought these tips might not apply to you, think again, especially when we get to number 10 and my tip that I'm going to share with you. They might just make your experience a little easier. Our second tip comes from Karen Rudy from Maitland, Florida. Karen has been using Microsoft Voice within Teams. She shares that she's learned a great trick while trying to reach a hard-to-reach person. I'm thinking we all know a couple of people that are hard to reach. Click on your avatar, which is your profile photo, and then choose Settings, Notifications, and People. Adding your hard-to-reach people here, so the person that you have a hard time getting in touch with, Settings, Notifications, People, add them there. Teams will notify you when they become available. Obviously, both of you have to be on Teams for this to work, but what a handy feature to know to find out when someone is back at their desk. Now, don't panic about writing these all down. If you look lower in the YouTube section, I will have the entire script so that you'll have all the steps written out for you as well. Lori Stein from McKinney, Texas says that she loves using Teams and gathers every tip and trick that she can find. And she loves to bug her IT people all the time by asking them to unlock those new apps and add-ins. But while having meetings in Teams, Lori shares with everyone on how to turn on noise suppression. So if you have kids, dogs, other background noise, you will want to suppress any extra noises while you're in a meeting, right? So to do so, go to your Teams settings, devices, noise suppression, and turn off notification sound. So Teams settings, notifications, and appearance and sounds. Remember, this will be in the script below. So for those of us who are on the other end of the call, we appreciate you suppressing that background noise. So thanks, Lori. Harpreet Renew is from Toronto, Ontario, and she is one of our 5 semi-finalists for this year's 2021 Canadian Administrative Professional of the Year. Harpreet says that she likes to change her status while she's at work. So to do so, you just click on your avatar, which is your profile picture. You'll find status options such as available, busy, do not disturb, all those standard ones. However, there is an option that says appear away. And here, Harpreet says that you can add in a comment such as, at lunch, we'll be back at 2 p.m., or training from 1 to 4 p.m., which is way more helpful than just away. Whitney Kelso from Virginia Beach, Virginia, brings us our 5th tip, and she takes Harpreet's tip a little further and says that if you use the search bar and use the / key followed by any letter for commands, so for example, /B will display a command to change your status to be right back or busy. So you can use / plus a letter to change your status very quickly. Deb Beckers from Toronto, Ontario shared the mention feature, and that one's used using the @ character. Deb has one team that has over 30 people in it, and they are encouraged to communicate through Teams first as opposed through email. So Deb says that if you create a tag, and you create a tag under Teams, your team, manage tags, create tag, then you can just choose your tag and add people to that tag. So Deb has one just for managers. It's like a distribution list, right? One for everyone. And it sends them a notification that their group was mentioned. So Deb said that this was a game changer for her. Number 7 comes from Kathleen Laporte Christodulu, and I'm sure that I'm saying your name wrong, Kathleen, and I apologize, and she's from Bayshore, New York, and she shared a good reminder. Kathleen reminds us that before you log off at the end of a regular meeting, you can download the participant list, and it will show you when each person joined and left the meeting. And now that participant list automatically goes into your downloads folder. She copies it then over to her OneNote meeting page. So this is really handy if you have mandatory training or mandatory meetings, you can see when people logged in and logged out of the meeting. Christy Maxwell Steele loves the fact that she can use the back-end SharePoint to assign access levels for specific files for collaborations. She can lock down files so that they're view only without re-uploading them. Christy says that her team is horrible for overwriting files because they don't know how to save a copy properly. And this works really well when trying to share files from a private channel. Now, I'm sure she's not the only one who has a team that likes to overwrite files. So for those that have SharePoint, I'm sure this is a helpful little tip. Number 9 and 10 come from me. The first one I share is because you know I am a keyboard shortcut lover. Did you know that if you're using a PC, you can do the control plus the period? If you're on a Mac, use the command plus the period to bring up a menu of all the shortcuts that are available. And there are dozens of keyboard commands that are going to make your life a whole lot easier. And finally, as someone who isn't on anyone's team, it is a challenge to work on a team that I'm not part of. Teams is challenging when you're on the other side. So guests like me can participate in channels, in conversations, in chats, and of course in meetings by following the link. They can share files in channels, they can add new files, and they can use the wiki, which provides fantastic collaboration opportunities for clients that I'm working with. Now, the way you add a guest is actually very easy. So on the name of the team, you'll see the 3 dots, which is called an ellipsis. Just click on that. You add their email to that team, and voila, you have an external participant as part of your team. Now, guests like me would have fewer capabilities than team members or team owners, but there's still a lot that we can do, and I appreciate being part of that team. Teams is getting much more functionality quickly, and we're going to keep you updated on the changes. In the meantime, here's a couple of new shortcuts and tricks that will help you manage your Microsoft Teams. Be sure to share them with your team. Thanks, and keep on the right track with me.